The Buffalo Sabres season is presented by our Gold Ring partners, First Niagara, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York, Labatt, Fallsview Casino Resort, and Roswell Park Cancer Institute.
Hi again, everyone. Welcome into Rexall Place, where Buffalo begins a 3-game trip, hoping to extend a 4-game point streak in the first of 2 head-to-head meetings this year. Alongside Brad May, happy to have you along here on MSG. Dan and Razor have got the call coming up. Buffalo goes with the same lineup up front. Cal O'Reilly will be scratched. Mike Weber is scratched on the blue line. Chad Johnson's in goal. And the Sabres find themselves up against an Edmonton team, Brad, that maybe is starting to figure things out a little bit more defensively under Todd McLellan. Of course, defensive play often comes from very good goaltending, and they're getting that.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. 80 saves by their goaltender Nilsson in the last 2 games. Both games went to extra time. The Edmonton Oilers are able to win 2 games ago in overtime, but
in the shootout, yeah.
In the shootout. But watch Nilsson right here. Big guy, 6'5", huge man. Went back to the KHL last year to come back. Jordan Eberle, guy's red hot. He's got the 2 winners for the Edmonton Oilers in the last 2 games. You know what? They're a real good team. They're a question mark because they don't win often, but they got so many good pieces, Brian, the Edmonton Oilers, if they can just put it all together.
Indeed, that OT winner for Eberle has him with the decider in consecutive games, but it's the depth that you love that's been on display, even strength from Buffalo's standpoint of late.
I love it. I love it. 11 different players have scored. It's great. I like the even strength play, outstanding, and their power play has been pretty good as well.
Still to come on this trip, Vancouver and Calgary tonight. It's all about Buffalo taking on Edmonton for the final time in this building. The Oilers, of course, will open their new rink next year. Dan and Razor, straight ahead.
The Buffalo Sabres on MSG are brought to you by First Niagara, the official bank of the Buffalo Sabres. Labatt Blue Light, the official Canadian import of the Buffalo Sabres. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York, the official health plan of the Buffalo Sabres. Brought to you by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Niagara Falls View Casino Resort, the place you want to be. And by Roswell Park Cancer Institute, the official and exclusive comprehensive cancer center of the Buffalo Sabres. Closed captioning for Buffalo Sabres broadcast, brought to you by Buffalo Hearing and Speech Center. Better hearing starts at Buffalo Hearing and Speech Center, serving Western New York for more than 60 years.
Girls, would you please rise? Remove your hats and join Robert Clark with the singing of the U.S. and Canadian national anthems.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
One more time for the Sabres at Rexall. Will the offense stay hot tonight in Edmonton? Our starting goaltenders brought to you by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, the official coffee of our Buffalo Sabres. Chad Johnson, well, he's coming off a good game against Arizona. Pretty good night, facing 20 shots in that victory. Good numbers against Edmonton for his career as well. There you get a look at the season numbers. And Anders Nielsen fended off a 43-shot Dallas Stars onslaught to help Edmonton to a 2-1 overtime victory in the Oilers last game. He gets an nod here tonight. First period replays are brought to you by the all-new Ford F-150 with EcoBoost, built Ford tough. Tonight's officials, Kelly Sutherland and Dave Lewis. The linesmen are Andy McKelman and Trent Knorr. Sabres from left to right to start the game. Both teams 3-1-1 in their last 5. And the Oilers have shaken up the lines a little bit, especially the top 6. And the Sabres now with Evander Kane, who's on a real nice run. As talked about in our pregame show tonight, plays it down into the left wing corner, runs into Sam Reinhart, bouncing puck to the front of the net. And Jujhar Khaira starts the Oilers out with a pass up ahead. And Everly chasing after it along with Nugent Hopkins down in the right wing corner of the Sabres zone. Khaira plays it in the corner, big body to deal with, playing in his 5th NHL game tonight. Pass back to the point, and a pad save called upon early and made by Johnson. Schultz in the back end with Klefbom go back and forth, and they'll back it up in behind the Oilers net. Just underway, 40 seconds into the Sabres 3-game Western Road swing. The Oilers cut through center. Taylor Hall onto the ice now. Pass in the middle, and Teddy Purcell with a shot. That's kicked away. And along the boards near side, trying to play it back to the line was Draisaitl. And it's all the way back to Schultz at the right point at the Edmonton line, and he fires it in the zone. Offside called here against the Oilers. Roswell Park Cancer Institute's keys to the game, Rob.
Well, the first key is fast start. Coach Dan Balsman believes if you can jump on this Edmonton Oilers team, get them down early, it'll be a lot easier to keep them down all night long. And Edmonton is a fast-paced team. You need to play your game. Don't fall into the trap and play their game and get into a foot race, because it's not going to come out good.
Molson, Gergensons, and Larson out now for the Sabres. And Purcell pit against the boards, played off the end boards and comes around to the near side right wing. Bogosian jumps down to try and keep it in the zone, but it pucks up and out of play over the glass.
I know in this first minute 15 here, the Sabres are doing what they want to do. They're getting the puck in deep, they're getting guys going, and they're trying to have as much zone time as possible here on this Edmonton Oilers team. They want to work the goaltending. If there's the suspect spot, goaltending is it. I think you can get on them a little bit, you can work them, you get some shots in front of them, you get man in front of them. Establish that net front presence early in this hockey game will help you out.
Face off just outside the Oilers line. Cody Franson in the back end along with McCabe, and he'll fire it into the Edmonton zone. Comes around to the near boards, right wing side, and Molson plays it in behind the net. Larson getting after it over on the far boards. He's pushed off the puck. And the Oilers now will look to skate it out. Sabres offense has been red hot lately, but also, as I mentioned off the top, you take a look at the shots faced by Chad Johnson in the game against Arizona. They kept that to 20. Sabres doing themselves a big favor in making life a lot easier as the Oilers shoot it in behind the Buffalo goal, and it's McCabe now trying to reach his way around Hendricks. And now it's Legwand who will find a lane to pass it outside the Buffalo zone. Hamilton native Nurse back in his own end for Edmonton. Off the boards and out to center by the Oilers. See some of that speed getting to the Buffalo line, but the Sabres do a good job of denying the blue line, and now it's Nick Deslauriers over the Edmonton line. Can't get the shot away. Lander will play it in behind the net. Nurse will wait for it. Nurse forced out here in between the hash marks. He'll bring it to the blue line. Pass up ahead of the right wing. Goes astray. Sabres pick up possession. Ryan O'Reilly gains the line. Pass off a little bit too far, but Reinhart still gets a shot on net. Easily handled by Nielsen. And the Oilers, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins starts the breakout. playing with Jordan Eberle tonight. And Kara, as we get a whistle at the Buffalo blue line.
Evander Kane is another guy that's attracted a ton of attention the last little while. 4 goals, a couple assists in the last 3 games, and I think a big part of it is who he's playing with. He's a very talented guy, wants to go north-south, he wants to take the puck, and he wants to get in on the forecheck an awful lot. You got 2 of the most intelligent players on your team in Ryan O'Reilly and Sam Reinhart playing with him, and that helps because he knows he can go play his game. He doesn't have to worry about the rest of the ice. Those 2 guys will take care of it.
7 points in his last 5. Ristolainen inside the Sabres zone, ahead to Kane, and he'll backhand one into the Oilers zone. Edmonton on the puck first. Eberle trying to tip it up the far boards. Can't. O'Reilly keeps it in. Tips the puck back. Here's a shot from the line. That one goes wide of the goal. Ristolainen is going to jump down from the right point. And the puck gets past him. Nugent Hopkins down the left wing. Into the Sabres zone with a shot. Pat save and a rebound is fired wide. As the Oilers look to counter. And that was pretty good evidence of that speed. And Nugent Hopkins steaming down the left wing. Here's Klefbom in the Edmonton zone. Draisaitl, boy, has he been red hot. Stick handling his way to the Buffalo line, right wing, and he'll tip it in. Back behind the Sabres goal, flushed out by the Sabres, and Gionta left wing will carry it for Eichel. Eichel now down the left wing, looking to cut in with a shot, and that one goes off the glass, comes around to the near boards. Again, Sabres from left to right in this opening period. Eichel from the right wing corner. He's pushed to the glass by Davidson, who's back into the lineup for Edmonton tonight. Gionta keeps it in at the point. Teddy Purcell sends it right in front of his own net. Puck comes back off these near boards, and Cody Franson jumping down along with McGinn into the play. Jamie plays it down to the corner. Here's Eichel in behind the net. Eichel cuts in front of the net, takes a shot, and that comes wide. McGinn tries to bank one in at the near post, and Nilsson hangs on.
Nice job for the Sabres around the net in the offensive zone. But we talked to Evander Kane. Look at this coming back defensively. He's able to catch his man, just get a stick on him enough where the shot is not a great opportunity. But here it is just a nice job. Does not give up, realizes he's not going to catch him, but he makes sure that stick is out, and it makes it a little more difficult for that shooter to take the shot going down the wing.
Face off of the Edmonton zone. Girgensons out again with Molson and Larson. Sabres coach liking the play of Larson a little bit better in the last game against Arizona. Here's Letestu into the Sabres zone, playing the puck behind the net. George is watching him. Puck comes to the near boards. Sabres zone right wing side. Bank pass to Nurse at the blue line. Keeps it in cross ice. Sekera can't handle it, but he does backhand it in behind the Buffalo goal. Sabres tip it to the blue line, and now they'll have a chance with 3 to center to carry it to the Edmonton zone. Down to the far corner with it. Girgensons for Larson is going to bank pass it back to the left point. In behind the net, Molson can't reach the puck. And it comes near boards, and Hendricks around Bogosian flips it to center. Edmonton changing a couple of skaters, and a shot from just inside the blue line is steered away by Nilsson.
Dan, you mentioned Johan Larsson having a decent game against Arizona, and the coaching staff remarking about it. But he's going to be under a microscope from here to the end of the season, because he's one of those guys that Dan Belsman's going to have to stay on and will stay on and keep enough pressure on him and maybe sitting him here and there just to make sure they get out of him what he has. Because sometimes Johan Larsson's a guy that kind of disappears for a little while, but they need that nasty, tenacious guy in there hitting, creating some offense. He needs to bring that style every night if he's going to think about staying in this lineup.
Here's O'Reilly, Reinhart, and Kane with the offensive zone faceoff to the right of Anders Nilsson, who's played a ton of hockey in net for Edmonton of late. Being called upon again tonight. Sabres off the draw. Puck in behind the Edmonton goal. Kara looking for Nugent Hopkins with a pass down the right wing. It's off the boards. Now in the far corner. Tipped by Franson about 3/4 of the way out of the zone. Now a chance for potential 3-on-1. It's Kane carrying left circle. Kane pass back. Reinhart in his skates. Takes the shot. Goes off the net, which is knocked off its pegs.
Well, in that case, Evander Kane coming back. Sam Reinhart's the guy that's going to get the opportunity, but it was from a bad angle by the time he got a hold of this puck. Evander Kane, he's going to get this chance. He's in the lane. He's got a great opportunity here. Take and fire that puck to the net. You got the goaltender already out fishing a little bit. You got the defenseman going down. Take that shot, and you got Sam driving through.
That line stays out and wins another draw in the Edmonton zone. Here's Ristolainen. Playing it down to the side of the net, and O'Reilly almost a nice little drag to himself near post. Oilers break it out. Here comes Eberle. Kara with him as they approach the Sabres line, and it's chipped in behind the net. Near corner, Reinhart takes a look. Kara steals the puck, looking for Eberle in front, and it just dribbles off the end of his stick. And Evander Kane makes his way to center. To the Edmonton line. Nice move, Evander Kane with a shot. And Nielsen with another save early here for the Oilers.
It's a great feeling when the Sabres win. Last year, Cellino and Barnes was successful in over 3,000 cases. If you need help, give us a call.
Evander Kane's the type of guy, he wants the attention, and he's going to do what he has to do to get it. And so far tonight, he's taking all the attention because he's the best player on the ice at this point. He's creating opportunities. Look at this. He just turns that D inside out and is able to get the shot.
Lino Legwand and Delorier on the ice now, and off the face-off in the Edmonton zone. It's out to center and tipped into the Buffalo end of the ice and in behind the net. Pass back to the line, kept in. Davidson shot through traffic, is kicked away by Chad Johnson. Boy, he had to be sharp on that one. Now down the left wing. Legwand stops inside the Edmonton zone. He's pinned against the boards, keeping that puck shielded. Here's Marcus Foligno down in the left wing corner. Davidson watching him. Foligno plays it down low for Legwand as he worked the cycle against Lander. Overcomes Delorier. Can't get it around Lander this time. And it'll be brought back out by Edmonton. Shy of center as the Oilers try to make a bit of a change. Legwand breaks up the pass ahead, and Draisaitl will do the reset for Edmonton. To Taylor Hall. It's knocked off his stick. And the Oilers with that Sabres forecheck a little bit flustered right now. Eichel's going to pick up the work down in the Edmonton right wing corner. Eichel with the puck, trying to play it under the goal line. Now it's passed back to Eichel. Here's a backhand. He scores! Jumping Jack Flash. Jack Eichel puts the Sabres on top 1-0. Oh, what a nice little pass to set that one up from Brian Giunta.
Well, this all starts on a fantastic forecheck here. Getting the puck in deep. You got guys in on top of the puck. You got Jamie McGinn and Jack Eichel down on the corner. Brian Giunta staying back. He sees the hole. He steps in, but a nice little chip pass by Giunta back to Eichel. Right here, watch this. He knows he's got the big boy coming in behind. And that backhand far side just inside the post is a big goal for this Buffalo Sabres team with 13:02 left in the first.
You talked about a quick start. Sabres deliver, and that puck possession in the offensive zone certainly helping the cause. Oilers now fired into the Buffalo end. Draisaitl out there along with Hall, who tries to glove it down. He's knocked down by Cody Franson, or at least off the puck. And looks like we've got a whistle to face off coming outside the Sabres line when we return. Jack Eichel with the game's first goal, his 9th of the year. Around the world, Speed Global Services delivers.
Our Speed Global Services leader, Jack Eichel, 9 goals. He leads the Sabres. Sam Reinhart, 7 goals, is third on the team. And only the 74-75 Sabres had 2 rookies to score 20 or more goals each in the same season. Danny Gare had 31, and Peter McNabb had 22.
Jack had back-to-back goals against Nashville and Carolina, and now picks up here with his 9th of the year. Giunta McGinn the assist at 6:58 the time of this game's first goal. Face off ahead of the Sabres blue line. Oilers with possession. Off the stick of Taylor Hall. Johnson out to play it. Hall tried to center with the goaltender gone for a bit of a wander. But the Sabres are back with numbers. And now Rasmus Ristolainen plays it ahead. Giunta backing up to center. Lost the puck as Draisaitl just skates by and takes it. Nurse going cross ice. Little 2-on-1 for Edmonton on the far side into the Buffalo zone. Pass back into the slot. Comes all the way to the boards and tipped out to center. And the Sabres with a chance now to change it up. Unique spot. We've spoken about this before. I'm sure RJ has over the years. Not many arenas you sit on a broadcast location just above the 2 team benches. Nice little view here for what it's worth for you back home, for us to really see these 2 teams and the lineups and who's coming over the boards. Another part of Rexall Place that we'll miss if it's not kept at the new building. Sabres in their own end trying to work it out. Ryan O'Reilly in the near corner. Trying to spin away from the forecheck. It's coughed up. Here's a backhand right on goal, and that one with traffic in front is kicked to the near corner. And now Reinhart will bring it up for the Sabres. Cross ice pass. Takes a nice bounce for Evander Kane. Back to goal. Backhand pass in front. Reinhart back to Kane again. His pass in through the slot looking for Ryan O'Reilly. And O'Reilly gets to the battle in the corner, comes back Bogosian cross ice. Pass looking for O'Reilly at the near post is broken up. And the Oilers will bring it out to center. A little bank pass for Hendricks doesn't work. And Kane from center is going to lift a bouncer right on to Nielsen. And we'll leave that for Davidson. 6th round pick starts it out for the Oilers. Kara tips it in behind the Sabres goal. Johnson is here, and Ristolainen will take over. Under pressure, Ristolainen lost the puck. Again, numbers back, and this time it was Zengus Girgensons helping bail out his defense. Playing low in his own zone, but the Oilers going to work here along the boards. Now it's chipped out. And Davidson looking for Kara again. Kara gets a piece of the puck, and it rolls to Johnson. And Jujhar Kara is a big young man going right to the net.
Well, Dan, you talk about guys that are on a little bit of a streak. Jamie McGinn, 2 goals, 4 assists in the last 5 games. In 26 games this year, 5 goals, 7 assists for 12 points. And I think he could be a big help to a guy like Jack Eichel. You got McGinn on one side, you got Gianta on the other, 2 very experienced guys, very responsible guys on the ice defensively, that Jack could go play his game, even though he's very good defensively himself. But I think by having guys that have pedigree that they have, he's able to go play his game a little bit more. Play a little more relaxed game instead of worrying about other things on the ice.
That's exactly what the general manager had in mind, isn't it, when he started getting these young players?
Absolutely. You need to surround them with veteran leadership, guys that are going to show them the way on and off the ice. And I think
here's Hall with a chance as he and Draisaitl work out of that far corner. And the puck is stopped by Johnson. Will get a face-off to his left.
I think that's been a big problem here in Edmonton because they have not surrounded their young guys with the proper veteran players to show them the way. And here down low, do a nice job. Ryan O'Reilly eliminates down low, but you got to keep your head on a swivel. That forward right there has to be knowing who's coming over his shoulder, with a man sneaking in or not. And right there, they give up a great opportunity to Edmonton.
Draisaitl off the face-off, wins it back to Hall, who keeps it in at the line. Delayed penalty coming up, and tipped by Teddy Purcell in the slot. And this game is tied at 1.
Yeah, that was on a delayed penalty. Evander Kane was going for hooking.
That'll be Purcell's 5th of the year.
Yeah, Teddy Purcell. He's going to find this puck. Right there was your penalty, right on the middle of your screen. And he's able to turn and just fire the puck. And you see Teddy Purcell right in the high slot area. He's just going to redirect that puck. And Chad Johnson, he's out on top. He's challenging, but he's over to the left side a little bit. The puck was deflected back over to the right. And he's not able to catch up to it.
Sabres send Foligno, Legwand, and Delory onto the ice. And Gazdic out there lined up next to Foligno. And a tie hockey game now. The Oilers fire it right back into the Buffalo zone. Johnson out to play it on his forehand. Up goes high off the glass. Poliakovo tips it under the goal line, trying to play it up the boards for Foligno. Doesn't get there. Now Marcus gets a piece of the puck. Landers over there as well. Marcus trying to muscle that one up the boards, right wing side. Gets it ahead. Now Legwand with a backhand pass finds Delorier, who banks it off the boards into the Edmonton zone. Lander with Legwand trying to push him off the puck, but Lander keeps possession. And now we'll skate it out to center for Edmonton. Eberle off the boards. He'll take it back into his own zone. Jordan Eberle scored 45 seconds into overtime, snapping a 6-game goal scoring drought, giving the Oilers their win over Dallas. This is Grimes on his own end. Bank pass off to Bournes, looking for Kara inside the Buffalo line. That's broken up. And Eberle has the puck at center, but heading back into his own zone. 9:22 left here in the opening period. We're all level at 1 apiece. Nugent Hopkins pass over on the far wing, broken up by Eichel. Ristolainen, right side at center. He'll shoot it into the Edmonton zone. Jamie McGinn will keep it down low, play it in behind the net. Davidson there for the Oilers. Almost kept in by Buffalo, but a bank off the boards. And Eberle with a backhand pass to center, taken by Ristolainen. Now his pass just misses Eichel, and it's in behind the Edmonton net. Gianta breaks up the breakout, forcing the Oilers back again. Olsen jumps onto the ice and into the forecheck now for Buffalo. Reimer will take the pass. He's got some space right ahead of him. And it's So Letestu with a tip to the Buffalo zone and in. Korpikoski plays it down deep in the Buffalo end, but McCabe is there. Hendricks gives him a pretty good lick on the end boards as McCabe tried to get that puck up the boards. He'll have it back again. And Cody Franson off the board safely and out. Nice little tip by Molson to keep that in play for Larson. It's called a high stick. Sabres not sure they like that call, but it's a 1-1 game with 8:14 to go in the first period. Jack Eichel's 9th of the year, and the Oilers with Teddy Purcell getting a goal in a 1-1 game here in Edmonton first period. Catch Bill Center Eric Wood at 4 p.m. and Bills head coach Rex Ryan at 5 with Chopin Bulldog every Buffalo Bills Monday on the flagship station of the Buffalo Bills, WGR Sports Radio 550.
Well, it was nice to be able to catch the Bills' big win against Houston Texans, 30-21. Charles Clay with a late 40-yard TD run for seal the win. Tyrod Taylor, 3 TDs. Sammy Watkins, a touchdown. Everybody getting involved.
That'll be a nice day for Buffalo sweep here. Sabres time to go to work and take care of their end of things. Ristolainen from center with a pass inside the line. Girgensson sends it towards the goal, and Larson takes a swipe at the puck. And that shot on Nielsen is stopped, and now the battle goes to the end glass. Against the glass, Zemgus Girgensson, the most vocal Buffalo Sabre.
Now he went at Matt Hendricks. And you can see Zemgus Girgensson, he's not happy about something here. They're going to go in on the rush right here. The play is made to the net. Matt Molson stops there. And you're going to see right here, Larson gets put down in the quarter by Hendricks. And Zemgus Girgensson's come in. And Matt Hendricks didn't waste any time. He was a willing combatant there against Zemgus Girgensson's 2 minutes roughing. And both guys are going to the box for 2 minutes for roughing here, so we're going to have a little 4-on-4 hockey. But that's what you like to see. I love seeing the Sabres play aggressive, sticking up for each other. The last 2 games, you saw a lot more of it. They played a little more nasty, a little more grit in their game. And when they do that, they seem to play a heck of a lot better because not only them pulling together, but they just know if they play that way, guys are going to come in behind them. They're going to be there. There's going to be support. And I think it's very important for this team to play like that every night, not pick and choose who you're going to do it against. I think if they do it every night, it will definitely help this hockey team.
And a quick look at Todd McClellan there, the first-year head coach in Edmonton after his run down in California. Trying to get this Oilers team to play a consistent game and adding some toughness here in Edmonton, something they've been trying to do as well. Oilers with a shoot in. It's at the side of the net. Johnson's going to grab onto it as Klefbom comes racing in.
Now that puck was dumped in. It was a little soft bounce off the back wall. It didn't really go anywhere. It came right back to the goal line, and it just laid to the right side of Chad Johnson. He just took a quick look, surveyed the situation, and didn't like what he seen, so he just reached down to cover the puck. But I think it's smart. It's one of those things. Slow this game down as much as possible. And that's the type of game that Sabres need to play. They're a puck management team. They're a team that wants to have the puck and do what you want to do with it. Make somebody else worry about you.
Bogosian will stop just a few feet inside his own blue line, go rink wide with a pass, and Carlo Kodiakovo try to advance the puck, but the Oilers are on it. Sekera behind his own net. Vander Kane out there for Buffalo along with Ryan O'Reilly. Taylor Hall, who came into this game ranking second in the NHL in shots on goal and involved in that first one tonight. He's chasing the puck behind the Sabres net. Tipped away, and now it's Koliakovo with his head up to center, leading a 3-man Sabre rush. In across the line, Eichel comes off the bench. Kane drops it for Jack Eichel with a shot, and the blocker saved by Nielsen is punched to the right wing boards. Edmonton now will bring it out to center. Reinhart comes onto the ice off the quick change as Nurse carries down to the left wing corner. George is there defensively. Klefbom back at the left point, winds and fires off the end boards. Johnson saw that one coming. Rob read it well and covers up.
Wow, it was a nice play when the defensemen, they want to take and shoot the puck, shoot it wide, and what they're looking for is that bounce to the front of the net. Problem being in this case, watch 77. He's just going to pull the puck into the middle a little bit. He's shooting 20 feet wide, hoping that puck's going to bounce to the front. Problem was both his players were caught on the other side of the net, thinking the puck was possibly coming around the net. And Chad Johnson was able to freeze it easily.
22-year-old Swede, third year in the NHL. Lined up at the left point for Edmonton with a face off the Buffalo zone. Ristolainen has the puck on his stick, taps it ahead, and now Eichel. 4-on-4 continues. Eichel trying to go between the legs of Klefbom. That's broken up by Big 77. He'll start the Oilers on the counter. Here's a shot by Eberle that's stopped by Johnson over the far side. Now Reinhart behind the net, watched by Nugent Hopkins. You get to 4-on-4 with these teams and the young talent on the ice. Fun to watch. Oilers now trying to get to the net with a shot that goes wide of the goal. It was Schultz on that rush. And now the clock under 6 minutes remaining in the first period. And Eichel will play it back inside his own zone. Ristolainen to Girgensons. He'll tip it into the Edmonton zone as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. 1-1 hockey game here in Edmonton. Sabres open the scoring. Eichel's 9th of the year. Tipped at center. Larson racing after it. In behind the Edmonton goal. Played up the boards. Here comes Cody Franson. Over the back of Hendrickson, knocks him down. Oilers now will flip it out to center. And the puck bounces into the Buffalo zone. McCabe with company on his shoulder. Here comes another forechecker for the Oilers. And wide open in front of the net. Pass instead of a shot there. And a great chance right in front of the net for Taylor Hall. Can't imagine what Johnson was thinking in that moment as Taylor Hall stood there with the puck all alone right in front of him. Draisaitl off the boards into the Buffalo zone where Evander Kane races back to get possession. He'll just lift it out to center as 3 Oilers were deep again. Inside the Buffalo end, Nurse with a hard around for Teddy Purcell. He continues to battle for the puck, pops it out into the slot in front of the Edmonton net. Nurse bank pass off the boards. Hall will carry in over the Buffalo line, and offside is Purcell. 4:36 remaining in the opening period. We have ourselves a 1-1 game. Eichel on the board for Buffalo.
Now the Sabres almost got burnt by Jake McCabe trying to do just a little bit too much. There he is right there. Hall's over on the side coming off the bench. Jake McCabe's under pressure. He needs to move the puck quick to his D, but he tries to hang on to it. Hall comes, pokes the puck away. He's then going to end up getting it, standing free in front of the net. Thank goodness he tried to make the pass back across to his Purcell that's standing in front. But right there, Jake McCabe, got to move that puck quicker. You got your partner, use it. Bang, quick pass, and then up the ice. Don't try to do too much.
Oilers chip it in again to the Buffalo zone under the goal line, and far side Purcell with Hall. Played in behind the net as it's tipped now. Draisaitl looking again for Hall, but he just can't connect, and the puck comes all the way back to the Edmonton blue line. That ball plays it ahead. Hall pushes it into the Buffalo zone where it's taken there by Bogosian. Nugent Hopkins to center for the Oilers. Things opening up a bit for Kara down the right wing until Koliakovo comes over, takes away the time and space. Oilers sending numbers down low. He's a chance for Eberle in front, and it's a 2-1 Edmonton lead. Right on the doorstep, again all alone in front of Johnson.
Yeah, Sabres defensemen having a tough time here in the last few minutes of this first period. And here, under pressure down low. The Edmonton Oilers stay right with the puck. Look, they got the second man in, and Sam Reinhart gets taken. And right there, Eberle standing wide open. Nugent Hopkins, he's going to get this puck, and as he gets it, just pulls back, takes a quick look. But what a pass by Nugent Hopkins to Eberle and standing in front. But down low, the defense and that third man for the Buffalo Sabres got to do a lot better job because Edmonton is coming, and they got 2 guys coming. They got to be aware of that.
Oilers shoot it in again. McGinn trying to tip it out in the far boards, kept in with the linesman ruling. It actually came outside the zone.
Yeah, that puck popped straight up in the air, and it was probably a foot outside. Graba just reaches up and keeps it in.
Jack Eichel's feeling some pain from something. It looks like he's looking at his right ear.
Yeah, he took a little shot here. Puck gets him right in the side of the head.
Oh, yeah.
Give him credit, he's staying out there.
Sabres off the draw with Ristolainen. Tipped by Eichel into the Edmonton zone. Nilsson out to play it. Makes a bounce and settles at the hash marks. The Sabres a chance to try to keep this in the Edmonton zone. Oilers have spent a lot of time in Buffalo's end of the rink here in the second half of this period. Here they come again. It's Eberle in across the line before Rasmus bumps him off the puck. George is with it now. Ahead to McGinn. Gianta wheels it to an open wing. Sabres are making changes. And over the boards comes Legwand along with Delorier and Marcus Foligno. Oilers in their own end. Pass straight up the middle. Tip right to McCabe. He's going to send it to the Edmonton line, and Delorier will pick up the tip from Legwand. A backhand on goal. Pad save is made by Nielsen. Cody Franson at the near point. Banks one off the end boards looking for Foligno at the near post. Got a piece of it, but Edmonton will bring it out to center. Into the Buffalo zone with 2:37 to go here in the opening period. 1-1 game. Marcus Foligno left wing at center. He'll fire it into the near corner. Puck comes up pretty hot from the corner. Kept in though by Delorier as he shovels it back down low. Driver takes a look. Here comes Foligno to finish his check. But the Oilers with time and space will bring it up left wing to center. Backhand will bounce to the left of Johnson. He thinks about it. Stays between the pipes though. Koliakovo calls him off. The Sabres get the puck to the blue line just out. And now it's Bogosian. Pass off to the left wing side. Girgensons trying to feed Larson inside. And they've come close to that a couple of times here in the first period, but the Oilers break it up, and Hendricks will backhand it down low into the Buffalo zone. Down below the goal line, here comes Hendricks again looking for another hit. Girgensons down there. Koliakovo as well defensively for the Sabres. Klefbom at the near point. His wrister wide. Pops right back out in the slot again. This time Buffalo able to bring it out, and Bogosian gonna risk that one all the way down the ice. No icing though. Linesman say play on, and that allows the Sabres to get some fresh legs onto the ice. Kane and Reinhart out there with O'Reilly. Got to defend now. Here's Purcell with a drop pass. That one's blocked by Reinhart. Hall picks up the loose puck. His shot is harmless and wide. Puck goes off the side of the net. And then we've got a delayed penalty call. Interference coming up here against Buffalo. Tonight's Fan Advantage keyword is Bogosian. Earning merchandise all begins with downloading the Sabres Fan Advantage app from the Apple App Store or Google Play. Visit Sabres.com/Fan Advantage to learn how you can reward your passion.
Josh George has been nailed with interference. Right here, watch number 4. He just takes his man out of the play, down to the ice. And Edmonton's going on the power play. Edmonton's 0 for the last 11. And that spans a 3-game span. The penalty killers for the Buffalo Sabres need to keep the pressure on them, force them.
Buffalo Sabres penalty kill brought to you by Napa. Napa has the know-how. Nugent Hopkins in the Buffalo zone. They play it back to the line. Hall here at the near point takes the pass. Walks down to the circle. Down to the goal line. Purcell pass in front, and it's banged in by Taylor Hall. So the Oilers go to work quickly on that power play, and they stretch the lead to 3-1.
Now the speed of the Edmonton Oilers in the defensive zone for the Buffalo Sabres here tonight is give them a ton of fits. Because they're winning battles and they're coming up with the loose pucks. And when they do, they're able to make the pass to the front. And that's where the problem starts. Right here, Purcell just standing in front. He just turns and backhands. Jake McCabe, right here. The man he's taken, he's got Ristolainen tied up. So he took the man out of the play. Wrong man, he's on your team.
For Taylor Hall, believe it or not, that's just his second power play goal of this year. He's had himself a good run of late. Just his 6th year in the National Hockey League. And we constantly remind ourselves how young these stars are in Edmonton, and they've been under the gun and criticized for years for not getting anything done. But Taylor Hall is playing some of his best hockey right now. Oilers keep it in as they fire it right back into the Buffalo zone. Under a minute to go in the opening period. Gianta can't clear around Davidson. Gets some help now as Bogosian comes along. Kara picks it up though. His backhand pass in the slot looking for Eberle. He lost it. And now Carlo Koliakovo will turn and bank pass off the boards. Gianta tips it out to center. Kara brings it back. Nugent Hopkins at center for Edmonton. Davidson will send it in. Draisaitl and Purcell pick up assists. 18:55 time of the goal. As we get a whistle on the ice.
That was a huge goal for Edmonton. And just by looking down at this bench, you can see the wind was just kind of knocked out of the Buffalo Sabres. And they need to figure it out here. They got 21.3 seconds left in this period. But they've got to really take a look and see why Edmonton's having success. And a lot has to do with the speed, but a lot has to do with the mistakes the Sabres are making and giving them the opportunities.
Oilers with that 2-goal lead and only 7 seconds left in this first period. With the puck in the Edmonton zone, Purcell will tip it out to center and into the Buffalo zone. Georges all alone, and that will do it for period number 1.
Well, great start for the Sabres, but after the first 5 minutes, it went downhill. And they've got to go in, look at themselves in the mirror and say, hey, we got to be a lot better defensively, start giving our goaltender a little help, and start figuring out how we're going to crack the guy at the other end to show some goals.
Well, Jack Eichel with his 9th of the year opened the scoring, but from there, Edmonton back to back to back. Purcell, Eberle, and Taylor Hall in the power play to take a 3-1 lead. The Document Intelligence and Konica Minolta intermission report from Edmonton is coming up next.
One here at Rexall. Great start thanks to a Jack Eichel forecheck and a Leon Draisaitl turnover. Jamie McGinn gets involved, but the little subtle play right there from Brian Gionta to Eichel allows the power backhand to go in, and the Sabres take the 1-0 lead. But we mentioned off the draw, it got tough for the O'Reilly line. Kane was on a delayed infraction up high. The tip from Purcell evens the score, so not a power play goal, but another even strength would follow for Edmonton. Eberle from Nugent Hopkins. This one gets away from Reinhart down below the goal line, and the perfect feed in front allows Eberle to score yet again. Remember, he's on the heels of a shootout decider and overtime winner this week. Then, when they got on the power play, the Oilers were able to take advantage. Nice little sauce from Purcell there, and the beneficiary also involved in the play, Draisaitl, but Taylor Hall gets the goal. And your Bain Treatment Center summary, visit them online at bainesbainesbaines.com. Sees Edmonton up 3-1. Takeaways, we acknowledged earlier, the Oilers with a ton of them, and they also exceeded Buffalo in the face-off department, and a lot of that led to extended zone time. Brad, one more thing that you want to add here, the Buffalo can do team-wide. I mean, obviously you want a good couple of shifts here, but consistency-wise, what do they have to get back into?
Well, I think we just go back to where the start of the pregame when I said they have to play hard and tough on the top 6 forwards for the Edmonton Oilers. You got to make it hard. Right there, that was like a scrimmage, little practice for the Edmonton Oilers. They didn't get hit hard. They were able to make plays. All of a sudden, now their legs feel great in their hands as well. They just got to play it hard, go right to the net. Honestly, I want to see some after the whistle scrums if in a perfect way get in their face.
All right, to Dan and Razor for period number 2. Gentlemen.
Our second period replays are brought to you by Geico. Saving people money for over 75 years. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. Sabres will look to see if they can't get something going here against this Edmonton team. And as the guys mentioned during the first intermission, clean up their act a little bit, especially in their own end. Rasmus Ristolainen plays it up on the far boards. Lander will keep it in. Gazdic in behind the net. Ristolainen seals him against the glass. Sabres now with a chance to play it out to center, and they do. Buffalo from right to left here in the second period. As the puck bounces right into the Sabres bench.
Now in that first period, scoring chances, Edmonton 6, Buffalo 4. But the big one too, face-offs, Edmonton 14-9. And leading that way, Leon Draisaitl 9-1 for 90% in that first period. Pretty nice stat.
Pretty much all the Sabres except perhaps for Zemgus Girgensons struggling in that first period of the face-off dot. That period's done though. Time to push forward as Evander Kane off the draw will fire it in behind the net. Nielsen out to play it for the Oilers. Schultz trying to play it up the boards for Purcell, and he'll go rink wide with his pass. That's taken by Cody Franson though, and set up towards center ice, bouncing puck back to the Oilers line. Edmonton down the right wing this time. It's Hall. Nice little move. Draisaitl cuts to the net. Hall with a rebound, goes high over the cage and out of play.
Now Taylor Hall's getting some looks here tonight. He's doing a nice job. You see that Edmonton just gained the line. Sabres just backing off that line a little too much. Jake McCabe probably could have stood up right there and taken one of the men out of the play. And in turn, two of them bust in on a 2-on-1. And the Draisaitl's going to get the opportunity, and then Hall comes from the corner back out to the high slot for another opportunity.
Ryan O'Reilly in his own end, ahead now to Evander Kane, and he'll Get it to the blue line and out. That's as far as he'll go. Hit wide by Koliakovo for Reinhart. He'll backhand it into the Edmonton zone. Davidson off the boards for Draisaitl. He's backhand for Hall up the boards. Race for the puck. Koliakovo back in his own end. Gets there first. Now Bogosian for O'Reilly. His tip pass up the boards. Taken away by Edmonton. Eberle across the Buffalo line down to the right wing hash marks. He'll play it in behind the net to the far corner where Reinhart's got a lot of room for Buffalo. And he'll carry it up right wing to center ice along with Kane. It's lifted deep into the Edmonton zone. Kane will chase after it. Sabres, the rest of them will change. Eberle's tip to the blue line. He's set up over the glass and out of play.
Well, Dan Belsman was talking this afternoon actually about his team's slow starts. And he just kind of, when you asked him about it, he just kind of gave you that look and he says, I think part of the problem is early and especially in exhibition, training camp all the way through, they did such a good job of coming from behind all the time. They always felt they had the confidence that it didn't matter how many they were down, they'd be able to battle back into it. And I think it's kind of carried over into the regular season a little bit, but they're coming to find out it's not as easy at this point. Exhibition's one thing. Regular season's a totally different story.
Sekera ahead to Eberle. He gets it out to center of the right wing side. Kara plays it across to Nugent Hopkins, but the two of those players go offside for Edmonton.
Yeah, once again, right there, the Buffalo Sabres D especially, just giving too much room. They're going to start standing it up at the line a little bit. This is a fast hockey team. They're coming at you, and they're freewheeling through this neutral zone. You got to start standing them up once in a while at the blue line, maybe going for that big hit and try to send a message. You're going to come through, you're going to pay a price, but at this point, they're just backing up, giving way too much room for the Edmonton Oilers.
Kara for Eberle for Nugent Hopkins. Down under the goal line to the Buffalo zone. Ristolainen battling for the Sabres. Puck comes out to Eberle. He's going to play it back to the line. Nurse with a shot, and that one is steered away by Johnson to the boards near side where McGinn can't clear. Kept in by Eberle. Kara backhand through the slot, goes all the way to the far boards, and we might have, I don't say interference yet, but definitely a penalty coming up.
High sticking.
That's why I didn't say interference.
That's good. Yeah. Jack Eichel was the one that got hit.
Ryan Nugent Hopkins.
Still waiting to see for somebody to go to the box. Nugent Hopkins had to come back and get a new stick. He's on his way over now to serve the 2 minutes. It has happened right in front of the Sabres net. Nugent Hopkins going flying through to try to get net front presence. And the stick got caught up into Jack's face. And that's the second time Jack's been hit in the head here tonight. Once with the puck, now with the stick.
This Buffalo Sabres power play brought to you by New Wave Energy, your local energy supplier. And the power behind the Buffalo Sabres with a draw in the Edmonton zone. Letbaum pressured down under the goal line to the far corner. Ryan O'Reilly. Evander Kane jumps down low as well. Oilers come away with it. And the puck is off the shaft to Brian Gionta's stick. And into out of the Buffalo zone. Here's a chance for Letestu with a shot. Pad save made by Johnson as Letestu came down that right wing. Brian Gionta, sorry, checking for the broken stick there. That went off his stick.
He had Hendricks going through the middle of the ice too, right to the net. And you see all four killers for Edmonton down low. The puck just kicks a bad bounce off the wall. Right here, it turns into 2-on-1. And he does what he should have done, taking the shot. He had Hendricks going. So the defenseman for the Buffalo Sabres does a nice job getting that stick in the lane, preventing the shot from getting through with any type of velocity on it.
Oilers off the face-off will put Buffalo back behind their own net. Lander out there for the Oilers. First in on the forecheck with Korpikoski. Edmonton's penalty kill 6 for 6 over their little 2-game winning streak they've got going here on home ice. Sabres now with Evander Kane here at the near point, trying to go cross ice. It's knocked down, and the Oilers will clear it. Lander with a little chip out to the Buffalo blue line. Cody Franson backing up between the circles now. We'll start it out. Pass up the wing, tap back, and Gionta will fire it in. Hard around for Kane. Puck's going to come to the front of the Edmonton net. Nurse takes it to the near corner. And now it's chipped out of the zone again by Letestu, and the Sabres are forced back into their own end of the ice. Hendricks comes over the board. Reinhart and Molson out for Buffalo along with Jack Eichel. The remaining 44 seconds perhaps of this power play. Girgensons as well, and Molson with a shot from the left wing. Girgensons trying to jam it in. Nielsen the save. Zegras will play it back to Eichel to the middle of the zone. He rockets one high off the glass. Backhand pass in the slot goes by everybody. Reinhart races over the right wing point to keep possession. Hendricks gets the puck and chips it into the Buffalo zone, and a bouncer right onto Johnson. 18 seconds left in the Sabres power play. Eichel to center. With a pass off to the wing. Now here's Molson, near circle, shot with traffic in front. It was off the leg. Ristolainen will play it behind the net. Jurgensen's for Reinhart. Back to even strength play here with a shot that's tipped in front. Eichel gloves it down, tries to turn and fire, but the puck comes to the near corner. Jack shielding the puck now. He's got one goal tonight. Trying to turn it down low, pops up top, takes the shot, and it's a pad save by Nielsen. Steered to the near corner. Sabres keep it down low with Jurgensen. Down comes Legwand trying to help out. Oilers to the line and out with a chip to center. Bogosian over ahead of the play to get the puck, and now the Sabres with 4 as the Oilers change. Here's Legwand down the right wing, drop for Bogosian's one-timer. Nielsen the stop. Legwand from the near corner sends it in front, comes all the way to the far point. Bogosian under pressure from Hall, plays it behind the Edmonton net. Picked up by Davidson. They're played up the near boards. Koliakovo keeps it in, and they're going to call it a glove pass off of Koliakovo.
Well, the Sabres had one good opportunity on the power play. Come on the rush. Good give and go here. Molson and Jurgensen feeds Molson. He gets it back to him as he's going to the net, and Zemgus is going to have a couple swats at this. First the redirection, and then the rebound. Problem on that power play. Sabres not able to win the battles down low. They're getting the puck in, but it was way too easy for the defenders of Edmonton to get the puck down. They got to get in on top and win some battles.
Ryan O'Reilly down the left wing into the Edmonton zone. Stops at the hash marks. Big pass off the boards. McCain shot tipped in front. Kane looking for the loose puck in a crowd. Battle forward over at the far circle. Hall against O'Reilly. Good battle. Larson comes away with it. Sends it down low to the corner. Up top, Tony Franson one-timer off the inboards. And Larson battling Sekera for the puck. Down comes Evander Kane. He stands him up, but the puck goes all the way down the ice. And icing called against Edmonton. Want to see the Sabres take on the Capitals December 28th in a luxury suite? Well, visit WNYAutoCare.com. You can find out how to register.
Well, much better shift for the Buffalo Sabres, getting a lot of pressure down low. Kane, Larson, O'Reilly starting to get the puck back, able to make something happen with it. A couple times getting to the point. Jack Bogosian's had a couple good looks, but that's the way they got to play. They got to keep the pressure on down in Edmonton's zone.
Draisaitl and Hall's line will go to the bench off the face-off win. The puck sent down into the Sabres zone. Now approaching 14 minutes left in the second period. McGinn with a shot that goes wide. Down comes Georges from the left point to keep a team in the Edmonton zone. McGinn behind the net. Tips the puck to the corner. Eichel pops it up top. Georges goes cross-site. Ristolainen looking for the tip in the slot. And it comes all the way to the near boards, and now the Oilers will bring it out to center. One down, and Nugent Hopkins races in. He takes the shot. Nice pad save. And the rebound is sent wide by Eberle. Eberle just hanging around the slot now at the near post. And Nugent Hopkins will play it for him under the goal line. Georges there defensively for Eichel. Protecting that puck with that long reach of his. Eichel makes a nice turn out of the corner, but then coughs it up. Shot stopped by Johnson. As Sabres trying to work their way out of their own end and back into this hockey game. They trail it 3-1. 13:22 to go in the second.
There's 3-1, 13:22 left in this second period. Our New York Lottery inside the numbers. There are 15 first-round selections playing in tonight's game. 8 with Buffalo, 7 for Edmonton. There's 2 number 1 overall selections, 3 number 2 overall selections, and 3 number 2 overalls and 2 number 3 overall selections. I'm sorry about that. You see the names, and there's Tim Murray. I've seen him having a good conversation with Edmonton General Manager Pete Cirelli before the game.
Hendricks behind the net along with Zemgus Girgensons in the Buffalo zone. Sabres pick up the puck. And trailing 3-1, and with 13:07 to go on the clock in the second period, fire it into the Edmonton zone, and down comes Buffalo on the forecheck with Girgensons leading the charge. Shot from the far wing, that is wide of the goal, and the puck comes all the way out of the zone. Backing up inside his own end with a pass cross ice, Carlo Koliakovo. He'll take the return pass. Up the left wing from Larson. Tipped into the Edmonton zone. Over in the far corner, Hendricks waiting for it. He's almost run over. Larson reaching for it, can't keep it in. There's Larson with that run over at Hendricks on the far boards. Sabres in their own end. This is McCabe. Straight ahead up the wing. Reinhart onside inside the Edmonton line. Knocked down. And penalty coming up here as Edmonton's Greiba touches the puck behind the net. Sabres going back on the power play.
Tripping call coming up here to Draisaitl. He takes down Sam Reinhart just inside the line. Right here. Sorry, that's Brendan Davidson that's getting the call. And Sabres going to get the opportunity to go back on the power play. And they were 0 for last game, 0 for tonight, too, with only one shot. But the problem being, last 2 games, not able to come up with this puck after they get it into the zone. Doing a nice job gaining the zone, but they got to get the puck once it's down deep after the dump in.
Oilers clear it to start this Sabres power play. Willie Franson up ahead on the left wing. It's Evander Kane. Kane cuts towards the net, takes the shot, trying to go high glove side. The puck comes back to the far point, kept down low. Gianta. O'Reilly down to left wing, hash marks. He's almost stripped by Hendricks, but a nice move. O'Reilly keeps it down low. Gianta behind the net. To O'Reilly in the corner. Up top to Cody Franson. Franson shot in front. Perhaps the leg of Gianta and popped up into the air, and Hendricks is going to send this one out to center, where it's picked up by Buffalo. Kane gains the zone and is knocked down. Oilers send the puck all the way down the ice just to the right of Johnson. Eichel comes over the boards with Reinhart and Zengus Girgensons. Matt Olson out there as well, and Cody Franson. Buffalo power play with Lander on the forecheck, having trouble getting out of their own zone. Tenacious for their forecheck here. Eichel does it himself, carries it over the line. Drop for Girgensons. He's run into it. Now a 2-for-1 shorthanded. And it's Sekera, the off man, as Lander carries in with a shot, and that one is stopped by Johnson with 43 seconds to go in this Buffalo power play, which does not look good.
Yeah, the second time tonight the Sabres on the power play have give up a 2-on-1. And right there, just being overpowered, Zengus Girgensons was. Wrists the line and stays in the middle. Plays it perfectly, allows Chad Johnson to take the shot, takes the pass away. He lets Sekera drive through to the net. But Chad Johnson doing a nice job making the initial save, covering up the puck for the whistle. Sabres got to be a lot more careful inside the zone. Guys are deep. You can't turn a puck over high out near the blue line like that when you're that third guy high. Because you got a D looking to go down. You got the other D kind of standing flat-footed waiting to see what's going to happen. You got to get the puck down deeper.
Face off the Buffalo zone. Sabres with possession. Girgensons facing his own net, though, has to tap it back down low. Now 30 seconds remaining in this power play. Sabres down 3-1. Pass up ahead to center. It'll be carried in over the line and fired around the boards. Near side, Molson at the left wing, hash mark. Sekera there to battle him for the puck. Girgensons comes over. Eichel's parked up here at the near point, left wing side. He's not going to get a chance to play the puck. He's got to defend along the Bristol line, and as Hendricks is going to chip this down the ice, and that will about do it for this Buffalo power play. Sabres, Eichel, right wing at his own blue line to center. Eichel gets to center, but the puck is knocked off his stick by the player coming out of the box for Edmonton. Klefbom has it, deep in his own zone, away from leg one. Pass up ahead on the right side. Here's Davidson with a shot, and that one doesn't get to the net. Oilers keep possession down low in the Sabres zone for a moment. It's finally sent out to center, and here comes Marcus Foligno. He's going to chip it around Schultz and race after it deep in the Edmonton zone, right wing side. Delorier down low, leg one there as well. Puck comes to the side of the net, and it's Delorier with a chance. Puck goes wide. Delorier trying to backhand it down into the slot, and the Oilers break that one up. Only goal for Buffalo in this hockey game, a backhand from Jack Eichel back in the first period. Foligno down in the left wing corner of the Edmonton zone. O'Reilly with him. Now Klefbom comes up with it. Franson comes down to keep the play in the Edmonton zone for now, but now the Oilers bring it out. 3 of them to center, 3 Sabres back, make that 4 Oilers as Everly carries it and takes the shot. Johnson makes a glove save just over that left pad to keep it at 3-1 for the Oilers here in Edmonton in the second period.
3-1, 9:15 left in this second period. A statue of Wayne Gretzky outside the Rexall place. And when you come in here, there's a ton of history. You see all the banners. You see the retired jerseys. Plenty of pictures all through this building, looking back to the history and the time that they had one of the greatest teams ever in the NHL come through here and do an awful lot of spectacular things. And this will be the last season in this building.
And go back to when it first opened up for a World Hockey Association team. The National Hockey League wasn't here at that time. Well, boy, was it coming. And it came with a vengeance, and all those champions played out of this building. Here's O'Reilly into the Edmonton zone. He's got a man in front. Larson looking for the tip, just couldn't reach it. Hall can't clear. O'Reilly keeps it in. Backhand for Kane. Settles it, fires, but it's off a leg. And Eichel's going to back it out with the delayed penalty coming up here against Edmonton. Sabres net is empty. Buffalo will carry just inside their own zone. Ryan O'Reilly with the puck now from Ristolainen. O'Reilly has Georges ahead of him. He's going to drop it for Eichel. Another drop pass. For Kane ahead of the Edmonton line. Sabres in trouble getting to the Edmonton blue line. Evander Kane now is going to try it himself. Right up the middle. Kane makes a move even around his own player and fires one on goal. And we get the stoppage of the penalty call.
It's an interference call. It's giving the Sabres an opportunity to go back on. I think Eric Grybe is the one going to be charged here. And yes, it is. Watch Evander Kane come up, 62. Grybe, gets in his way. And then eventually knocks him to the ground. So the Sabres going back to the power play here once again in this second period. 0 for 2 to this point.
2 shots on that power play you speak of.
When you think about this building, Dan, don't you refer to it as the Northlands Coliseum?
You do, if you grew up in that area.
Yeah,
of course you played, but
I think just, all those years when, Gretzky and those great teams, it was always referred to Northlands Coliseum, and that kind of stuck in your head.
Northland's a non-profit organization. They still own the arena today. Of course, a new name is on the building. Face off in the Edmonton zone. The backhand lifted all the way down into the Buffalo end of the ice. Tony Franson with Hendricks watching him pretty closely right in front of the Sabres net, forcing him behind the cage. See what the Sabres power play can do right now. They need one here, down 3-1. McGinn left wing, tips it into the Oilers zone. Hendricks pops it into space, and the puck is lifted out right into the Edmonton bench. A nice catch on the bench. Taylor Hall celebrating the catch. And speaking of the City of Champions in Edmonton, I don't know how many people back in Buffalo know about the Canadian Football League, but the Edmonton Eskimos won the Grey Cup recently. They have a professional lacrosse team that plays out here in Edmonton, the Rush, and Derek Keenan, who's known to Buffalo Bandits fans. He was coach of the team that won a championship there. So they're winning championships back here again. The hockey team's just a little bit behind the curve, but starting to make their way perhaps.
They'll catch up. They've made the changes that they need to make.
There's a shot by Ristolainen coming in on the point. Right in the middle of the zone. That's kicked away by Nielsen. Back come the Oilers. Here's a chance again. One-on-one in front of the net. Boy, that's 3 of those against Johnson so far tonight. And that time, Lander couldn't finish the job for Edmonton. Harold Parkkinen with the feed to Lander on that play. The Sabres, it's almost as if they're just trying to, you can see the collective regrouping going on down to the ice. Trying to gain the Edmonton line, and they go offside here at the near point.
Now, as you said, Dan, 3 times the Sabres have give up 2-on-1s while on the power play. And right here, just another one, just some hard work. Just not coming over the puck right here. Chad Johnson got lucky. That puck goes off the post. Steps in, goes to the backhand that goes right off that right post and up and over. Right there. A little luck was on Chad's side there.
Drop the puck again with a face-off just outside the Oilers line. Down to 54 seconds remaining in the penalty to Grybe. And O'Reilly will take the draw. Evander Kane standing way over here to the left. Wide open on this wing. Oilers aware of it. Now Davidson comes over to check up on him after the face-off. Win by the Sabres. Into the Edmonton zone. Far point. Ristolainen for Kane here at the left point. He winds and fires. A shot off a skate and behind the net now for Reinhart. He's got a man in front, and Molson And he couldn't get the job done. Now a far circle shot by O'Reilly, saved by Nielsen. Back to O'Reilly, sends it for Reinhart with a shot. Another save is made by Nielsen. And he steals the show for the Oilers with 28 seconds to go in the Buffalo power play.
Well, finally they're able to establish some shots. And you see the Sabres here on the entry. Ryan O'Reilly does a nice job getting in behind his man, moving it to the point. Sam Reinhart establishes his spot in front, but does a nice job winning these battles down low. And you see the defense jump in. Ryan O'Reilly's going to get another opportunity. Back to Sam Reinhart. And they got shots all from a distance. But there was no rebound to be had at the end. Anders Nielsen, he makes sure he got a stoppage of play there because his guys were tired and running around.
Oilers off the glass and out. Johnson with the puck in behind the net. 20 seconds left in the Oilers penalty. Bogosian, left wing. Kane and O'Reilly trying to get it together and over the line. Here's Bogosian in front of O'Reilly. Scores at second backhand by the Buffalo Sabres. It's a power play goal to cut the lead to 3-2.
Well, Ryan O'Reilly on the backhand. And it's fabulous. Right here, they just moved the puck up the ice. A little congested right in front of their bench with a nice job pulling that puck out and getting it across ice. And when it does that, it just opens up everything because Edmonds caught on the right side of your screen, leaves the left side wide open. They're able to give that give and go pass with Reinhart and O'Reilly makes no mistake putting that top shelf. Ryan O'Reilly uses a nice straight stick. He's got a little toe hook on the end, or a real severe toe hook on the end. But that stick is straight as an arrow, so when he gets in tight like that, that backhand comes so easy to him because he can handle the puck.
Well, the Sabres with their third shot on the power play and get their second goal of the hockey game. Now the Oilers with Sekera playing it deep into the Buffalo zone. Back to the line for Purcell. He sends it down low. Draisaitl will try to get it in front of the net. Oilers come up with it. Off the boards comes Hall. He's going to send a pass to the far circle. Shot wide of the goal, and it's going to come out to the blue line here at the near side. Kept in again by Hall. And it's actually outside the line. So offside called against Edmonton. Mike Robitaille is back to talk Sabres and take your calls Wednesday mornings at 8:30 with Howard and Jeremy. It's always good talking hockey with Mike on the home of the Buffalo Sabres, WGR Sports Radio 550. O'Reilly from Bogosian and Koliakovo. 13-22 as the Sabres within one. How about that? Back-to-back backhand goals by Buffalo. In the same game, and now back after it is Georges in his own end behind the net. Push the line and push to the glass. Eichel down low, Eberle watching him. Giazzi can't move it out. Eichel continues to battle with Eberle, who comes up with the puck. Back to the line. Now Schultz from the point. His shot goes up. Escape. Klefbom. He's going to wind and fire one off the backboards again and off the back of the net. Edmonton looking to center in front, and Johnson stays with it. Nugent Hopkins got a stick on it. Pass up ahead. Giunta finds Larson. One-on-one against Schultz. In over the Edmonton line. Larson turns. Takes a look. Trying to pass it in front of the net. It's off the skate of Schultz. And now Hall for Nugent Hopkins. Hall in the far corner. Nugent Hopkins for Eberle. Here come the Oilers again. To the Buffalo line, three of them. Shot on goal, stopped. As Klefbom put one right into the pads of Johnson, and a big hit over on the far boards. Edmonton fans don't like it, but play continues. Now the Sabres, here's Eichel walking in and firing off the post. Purcell for Edmonton, tips it ahead. Draisaitl. Ian Purcell to center. Sabres break it up. Here's Girgensons. He's got McGinn on the right wing, over the line, back in front of the net. Puck comes to the near boards. Molson after it. Purcell comes up with it. His pass cross ice, and the Oilers now bring four in over the Buffalo line. Left wing rush. Puck comes to the side of the net, and Johnson to the right is going to hold on. With 4:39 to go in period number 2, Sabres back within one, trailing 3-2 on the goal by Ryan O'Reilly.
The Oilers 3-2, 4:39. I'm sorry, left in this second period. Johan Larsson coming into this game in a big way right here, hammering Taylor Hall along the wall. And as his play moves out, he's able to jump up in the play, feed it to Eichel, and look at that right off the post. Sabres come that close from tying it up. Jack Eichel's already got 1 goal in this game, looking for his second.
Credited with 3 shots in the hockey game so far. Face off to the right of Johnson. O'Reilly wins the draw, but Hall gets onto it first for Purcell. Shot from the circle, steered away by Johnson to the corner. Puck tipped up into the air, knocked down, and now a roller for Bogosian. Ahead now to Sam Reinhart, right wing, up ahead with Ryan O'Reilly. Here's Reinhart from the right wing corner. Here he's in behind the net. Puck follows an Aaron stick that slides over here to the near boards, and now Taylor Hall with it for Edmonton. He'll lift one up into the air. Nurse stays onside as he pulls that puck back towards the Edmonton line. And now he'll lift it up into the air and up over the glass, as a matter of fact.
Well, we showed you the old rink. Now we're going to show you the new rink. Here's the look of the new Rogers Center that's going to be built here. They're being built as we speak. In Edmonton, it spans 25 acres. It almost looks like something from outer space. It's got a practice rink hooked to it. There's going to be over 1,200 television screens throughout the arena. It's the most up-to-date, state-of-the-art arena in the NHL. And it will house the largest true HD screen in the NHL. Looking forward to seeing that.
Diagrams here showing a movie theater attached to it, talking about condominiums. And Rogers Place will be the new home of the Edmonton Oilers, who have a 3-2 lead on Buffalo after the Sabres get the goal from O'Reilly. And now Buffalo trying to get out of their own end, and a bouncing puck inside of the Buffalo net. McCabe again waiting on the play, and he's pressing along the near boards in the corner. Now the puck is played cross ice in the Buffalo zone and just sent down into the Edmonton end of the ice. Sabres going to make a change here. Gianta in on the forecheck. Oilers quickly to center. Eberle's got some room on the left wing. Ristolainen, Eberle cuts to the net. Pad save by Johnson. Stayed with the play. Now Eichel's turn to wheel it out. He's going to pass it up ahead to Larson, who's been skating good here tonight. Larson down low in the Edmonton zone. Pops the puck back to the point. Nobody there. It's between the 2D and all the way back into the Buffalo into the ice.
Now Chad Johnson.
How was that icing? That was a Larson.
Yeah, they've done that twice tonight. Called it early before it crosses the line. Right here, Eberle's going to get an opportunity going wide on Ristolainen. Chad Johnson comes up with a big save. And quite a few times here tonight, Edmonton has been able to get the jump on the defenseman for the Buffalo Sabres, taking him wide and taking the puck to the net.
This faceoff's going to come to center ice. That was Larson who passed the puck back into his own end. That's why I asked how could that be icing, and that's exactly what they're going to do here. Mistakes happen. No touchdowns were scored on the play. No goals scored.
Well, you give the there's only 4 guys out there to keep track of everything that's going on. So you give them enough time, they'll communicate, they'll find out what was right, what's wrong. Johan Larson there on your screen, I think he's had an excellent night. Dan Balsman, he's told him, he's point blank told him, I need you to do that game, play that game every night, or you won't be in the lineup. And hopefully the message is getting through to Johan Larson.
You see the passion in his skating over the last couple of games. Oilers shoot it in with 2:45 to go in the period. Good bounce for Edmonton. Teddy Purcell couldn't get the puck. Bouncing puck, Draisaitl in the right wing corner. George is watching him. Oilers, though, with Purcell's shot from the circle's blocked. It's off the boards and out to center. Sekera back inside his own blue line. Ahead to Purcell. Looking for Hall, who gets it given right back to him. Here's Taylor Hall with a shot. And you can tell when someone's feeling it, Rob, the stride that Taylor Hall has right now in this game.
He's one of these young men that is expected to carry this organization. He was one of the top picks. He's one of the guys that they brought in here over the last few years. Probably has not got to the point where they thought he would be or possibly should be, but you can tell he's got it. And he just slowly gets better and better all the time. And you see he's getting to that point where he needs to be being a leader on this hockey team, being one of the guys they can lean on to continue to build this franchise.
Face-off win by the Oilers, trying to cut to the net. Johnson holding his own in traffic, and the Oilers are given a goal here with 2:17 to go in the period. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, there was a delayed penalty, too, on the Buffalo Sabres. The back referee out in the neutral zone had his hand up, the goaltender out of the net. And they're still talking about it right off the face-off. Take a look here. Edmonton's able to just walk to the front of the net. Chad Johnson makes the first save. But you just look, the man on the side of the net. Hard to make out the number there, but he just kept jabbing and jabbing. when Chad Johnson's got this puck. And he's not able to cover it up.
It looks like he never really had it. Thing is, what did this go off of, Rob, when it pops in front of the net here?
You know, everybody's taking a look. Johan Larsson right here. It possibly could be quick. Let's keep an eye on it.
Dragged in by a skate right there, perhaps.
Right there, goes off the skate of the Edmonton player driving through to the net.
Well, do you have your review routine ready?
No, because I'm getting sick of that review routine. Yeah, this is a goal review. This is not a challenge by the Buffalo Sabres. It is something the referees are going to go to Toronto and check to see if this is going to be a good goal or not. And you just seen a ton of traffic. Luke Gadzik.
The referee there talking to Brian Giunta. We are looking to see if it was kicked in. You can tell he's reading his lips.
Gonna watch again here. Edmonton takes this puck to the front of the net. Gadzik's the guy that's going in there. You see that his right foot right in front, tied up with Carlo. And it goes off his skate into the net. Now they have to determine whether it was kicked in or not. But you just see the battle on the left side of the net. You just wonder why the whistle didn't go maybe a little quicker, because I know the referee had decent position. He was back behind the net.
I've seen other times, and we all have, where the puck's been a lot more covered up. You wonder how the heck they see it. Play continues on. That actually does squirt free just at the stick of Chad Johnson.
I'll take another look here. Watch for the kicking motion. Is there one? Right here on 20 in front.
It's going to turn the skate right there. Is that enough of a motion?
Well, he's got that same foot up off the ground. Is that just him bringing it back down to the ice? Do they say that, or do they say it's kicking while he was?
Well, he scored a lot of kicking goals for a day. Was he keeping his balance?
I'll just tell you what. In my day, that would have been a goal, because there never would have been a review.
After video review, we've determined there is no distinct kicking motion, and therefore we have a good goal.
There's the word the Sabres didn't want to hear, distinct.
And Gadzik, he's going to get that goal, and that is his first point of this season. 15 games, that's his first point. Luke Gadzik, a little better known for his physical play. He's a big, tough kid.
Oh, that's exactly what he did right there, charged the net.
Yeah, he just used his power, got in there. And Sabres defenseman not able to handle it. And he gets that body position in front. Coach Dan Bylsma, he's still questioning this call, along with the leaders on his hockey team, Evander Kane, Josh Georges. But this decision has been made, and all they're going to do is get an explanation now, and nothing else is going to change.
Well, you say that, but there's still discussions going on. And the words
going to challenge.
Yeah, the words.
Challenge the play for goalie interference.
The words you didn't want to hear challenge
Oh
are
my
coming out.
gosh.
So now do you have your stick ready? This might be a while.
This is incredible. Watch right here. Let's watch to the top of our screen. Is there contact?
He kicks the pad.
Yeah, but is that? Did they determine Carlo Koliakovo, 25, on his back coming in? Does he push him into it? Does he push him into the net? You got Magosian tied up, his man in front. There's no contact for the goalie there. Here he comes through. As he's falling.
His left leg hits Chad Johnson's
Yeah,
pad.
he does.
Is that
he
what
does? But do they say, hey, he was trying to get away? Look at him. He gets away from Chad Johnson a little bit. That trailing leg catches his pad a little bit with the puck already going in to that point. Now the call in Edmonton yesterday, was it yesterday?
The 9-minute one you're talking
The
about?
9-minute call it took before the end of the game in overtime.
Well, I think we're done already here. They're even playing the Trues, a Canadian band. It's all called I'm Tired of Waiting. So everyone around the league's tired of waiting, but I think we got our call already.
As a result of video review, we've determined that there was no goaltender interference, and we do have a good goal. Buffalo will lose the timeout.
Well, I want to say congratulations to the referee as well, because I think this is the first time in a while they've been able to spit it out and get the message across without some kind of stuttering or mistake. Brian Giampa is still down on the ice. Trying to get an explanation here, but
it's an interesting slope that's been open in this game now. And it's going to be a slippery one day.
Absolutely. You know, this game 4-2, 2:17 left in this second period, and Dan Balzan has used up his timeout. So you need to remember that for the ending of this game too, if it gets to the point where you might like to use it.
So it's a big 2 minutes and 14 seconds here for Buffalo. You score the goal to get back within one. You wait around for the review. On the road, your first of 3 here in Western Canada. To get that momentum back from that Ryan O'Reilly goal. Sabres in their own end. Delorier trying to play it away from Lander on the boards. To the line. And a backhander by Legwand. Underneath the stick of Marcus Foligno. He races after it, but it's played off the boards and out by Davidson. We'll get it back again. Now for Greiba. Tipped in over the line by Parkkinen. But it's off, the icing ruled against Edmonton. So draw coming back in the Oilers zone. Big face-off coming up here for Ryan O'Reilly.
I think the Sabres, when you're talking about trying to get momentum back, or trying to, you got to take the idea of, hey, we just got robbed. We just got something taken from us. Yeah. Let's get upset here. Let's get upset and get back. We're only 2 goals down. You're going to have a period. You got 1:41 left here. Game is far from over. So let's get upset, start playing with a little grit, and start burying some of our chances.
Driving behind the net for Davidson in the Oilers zone. Puck to the line and out to center now. Tony Franson. For McCabe and back to Franson over the right circle. Pass up ahead off the skate of O'Reilly. Nielsen out to play it. Side of the net. Turns it over. Pass in front. Goes off the skate of Greiba and almost into his own net, but wide of the goal. And the Sabres doing the work down low now with 1:07 left in the second period. They're trying to clear. Greiba helps them out, tips it out to center. Franson last man back ahead of Eberle. Plays it up to center, but the Oilers back on the puck again. They'll shoot it in behind the Buffalo net. Johnson out to play it. Leaves it there. Down the corner. Puck is tipped ahead. O'Reilly at center. With 45 seconds in the period, Sabres gain the zone with McCabe down the left wing. To the face-off dot. Turns the puck over. Puck to the line and out now to center. Here's Ristolainen leaning his way down the right circle. He's pushed to the glass and behind the net. 27 seconds left in the period. Turning with it is Foligno. His shot goes off his skate and up out of play. Face-off will stay in the Edmonton zone.
Now Ristolainen, he was looking for a penalty call after he finished his man into the corner. I think it was Greiba just turned and give him a slash right across the arm. Might have been Nurse that did it, and the referee was standing right there and he just waved it off. He said, you gave him one, you got one back, and he called it square.
Zemgus Girgensons will take this draw with 23.2 seconds left to the right of Anders Nielsen. A test due for the Oilers. Girgensons going straight ahead into the left wing corner with it. Play against the boards, down to 17 seconds left in the period. Sabres down a pair, trying to work it free from the corner for one more shot here in this frame. Puck bounces up into the air, Reinhart. Now it comes free to the front of the net. Taylor Hall is there. Down comes Ristolainen, and he hammers Hall to the ice. Over comes Girgensons in front. Reinhart with a chance right at the buzzer, and Nielsen comes over to make the save.
Now the good thing to see, they haven't quit. And even after being down 4-2 here, they're taking the notion, let's go at him. Right here, big hit. Ristolainen fishes Hall. Again, Girgensons comes in, hits his man. Good support across to Sam Reinhart standing in front. What an opportunity right on the doorstep. And he's not able to capitalize. Anders Nielsen coming across, make the save, but Sabres got to go in. Come out with that same attitude. You're only down 2. This is a team that's going to give up goals. Come at them, be aggressive, and work the puck down low. Spend the majority of this period in the third in the offensive zone. You got a chance to win this hockey game.
Oh, Sabres with a pair of backhand goals. One from Jack Eichel, the other on the power play from Ryan O'Reilly. They trail at 4-2. The Northtown Automotive Intermission Report is coming up next.
All right, period number 2 produced this. Remember what Brad was talking about? Those advantages that Edmonton earned, I would say, when they were shorthanded. That was one of the best ones from Anton Lander that didn't go. And then the power play does connect. Bogosian to O'Reilly. And we have Buffalo within 1, trailing only 3-2. I mentioned the Eichel post. We're so accustomed to that release now and how dangerous it can be. Off the bar it went. And then at the other end, in the late stages of the period, this is the goal of all goals in the sense that it survived a kicked in review from Toronto. It survived a coach's challenge for goalie interference. My guess is that because it was Gazdik's first, nobody could believe that it actually happened. So there was going to be a lengthy wait before it finally went on the board. Your Bain Treatment Center summary. Visit them online at bainesbainesbaines.com. Oilers doubling Buffalo on the scoreboard. Worth noting, they're 1 for 1 on the power play, but 2 of their 3 other goals have come on delayed penalties. That last Gazdik one, another opportunity. Scoring chances are close, and face-offs still not where Buffalo would need them to be. But I'll say this, I think it was pretty noticeable, Brad, as the period wore on, that Ryan O'Reilly's game got a little bit better. I don't know, can he almost will them to a comeback here in the third, or how many more helpers does he need?
You know, I can tell you one thing. When he's around the puck, Ryan, he's got such a great and active stick. I love the battle he had with Taylor Hall there. I expect more of it in the third period. But Ryan O'Reilly literally can manufacture offense because he's so responsible. I think he could be a huge piece in the third period.
We'll see what Kane can deliver in the third as well after being in the Labatt Blue Light player profile. We'll see you right after this one for the Lexus post-game report presented by Northtown Lexus. The O'Reilly line looks ready to go here in the third, as are Dan and Razor.
Hey guys, O'Reilly just credited with 1 shot so far in the hockey game, but you're right, everything else this guy does around the game for Dan Bylsma and that coaching staff makes life a lot easier for Dan. There's probably not a lot of coaching Dan has to do with Ryan as far as, hey, you need to be here, you need to do that. He's helping him out on the ice. Face off. Third period underway. Sabres left to right. Here comes Sam Reinhart. Pass off the left wing. Puck rolls to the side of the net down into the corner. And O'Reilly trying to poke it back to the line for Ristolainen with a shot. That with traffic in front. Doesn't bother Nielsen. And it's lifted to the line by the Oilers, but not out. Now it's finally played out. And into the Buffalo zone. George is back after it. Ristolainen takes the feed cross ice. Sabres in the whites left to right. Turn it over. Kara drops it for Nugent Hopkins with a shot. That one stick in the lane by Ristolainen, sees the puck pop over the far corner. O'Reilly ties his man up. That frees up the puck in the Sabres now with a pass up ahead to Reinhart off the skate. And Klefbom will take it for Edmonton. Turn pass. 77 played ahead. Ujar Kara can't move it forward. And Eichel now for Buffalo. Sends it to the Oilers line. Edmonton come right back. Right wing. Is Eberle stopping with it. Nugent Hopkins takes a pass to the side of the net. Lays it down here to the near corner. Sabres on it. Gianta now will skate it right wing to center. To the Edmonton line and fire it in behind the net. Nielsen waiting for it. Again quick on the forecheck. The Oilers able to let that puck out to center ice and the bouncer for Carlo Colaiacovo. Edmonton changing. Quick pass up ahead on the left wing. Eichel now trying to make a couple of moves down the line. Back to Colaiacovo. Shot, pad save, kick back to the line. Bogosian shot, and that one is steered up and out of play. Faceoff stays in the Edmonton zone.
Right from the entry on the rush by the Buffalo Sabres here, getting the puck wide. And Jack just keeping the puck to the outside. Nice feed to the point. Quick shot with traffic. Goes to the other side. Zach Bogosian does the same thing. And they just got to make sure every opportunity they have, get pucks through. Get it to the net, make the goaltender make the save, and give your guys an opportunity to look for those second and third opportunities or chances in front of the net.
Referee talking with Dan Bylsma right now at the Sabres bench. It's a lengthy discussion. Faceoff will be in the Edmonton zone. To the left of Nielsen. Larson to take the draw for Buffalo. And he wins it back to the line. Franson will keep it in, sending it around behind the net. Jurgensen brings it back at the near post from the corner. At the hash marks, under pressure. Keeps it down low. Larson. Molson going to the front of the net. Wilhelm trying to send it back to the line. That's intercepted by Letestu and sent into the Buffalo zone. Back after it, Franson. Cross ice. McCabe has the puck in his skates. Little trouble there getting it, and the Edmonton Oilers will send Buffalo back in behind their own net. Franson again from McCabe. Jake fighting it, but staying with it. Nice job fighting Cody Franson again, and that puck out to center, tipped right in on Nielsen. Going to keep the play moving here for the Oilers. This is Nurse. Whips it ahead to Draisaitl, gloves it down, puts it on the ice, and the shot is wide of the Buffalo net. Big pass looking for Reinhart, doesn't get there from Ristolainen. Hall tips it back to the Buffalo line. Nurse can't keep it in, delayed offside. O'Reilly will pick it up inside his own zone. Ryan with one move, and now Reinhart left wing across the Edmonton line by about a foot. Now sends it down to the hash marks. O'Reilly trying to tip it back to the point. Hall with the steal, now a race for the puck. Sam Reinhart, great job to get back. Good puck position there on Taylor Hall. Georges off the glass and out. And that hits something. And we get a whistle on the play. Almost 3 minutes into this third period.
Yeah, excellent job by Sam Reinhart getting back in the defensive position. And he's able to take Hall out of the play. Hall knew that he was not going to get a jump on Sam. And he kind of just almost quit skating. But Sam did a nice job just getting himself in that position, eliminating, separating from the puck.
Ryder with a tip back, and the shot by Davidson, glove down by Johnson. So the Oilers now lead, that'll be their 24th shot on net.
Another clean loss off the faceoff. After 2 periods, Sabres only 41% in the faceoff circle.
Draw again to the right of Johnson. Lander against Legwand, and now it's Gazdic behind the net, trying to center in front. Pops up to the faceoff dot. Backhand behind the goal again. Lander and Gazdic out front. Comes back to the blue line. Oilers keep it in. Shot blocked as Legwand is knocked down. Lander with a shot from a tough angle. Johnson, another crowd in front, and Chad this time covers up. And the Sabres try to box out.
Yeah, it looked like Edmonton tried kicking another puck here in front of the net.
Well, it's not going to be pretty from this line. They just keep coming.
Well, right here, let's see, the puck just going to be worked to the front of the net. Good traffic. Gazdic standing there. Once again, right there, man on the far side. He's going to look to kick the puck right there as he's tied up with Jake McCabe.
Zero Parkinen.
Was not able to find it into the net, but Sabres got to do a little better job there. They got the man tied up. Yeah, they got the sticks up off the ice, but they got to start pushing away from the blue paint a little bit. Try to give Chad a little more room, a little more time.
Back to reading, excuse me. Targeted. Here's Gianti now. 3-on-2 for the Sabres. Eichel in the middle. Pass off to the left wing. Takes a return pass. Tipped on goal, and Nielsen will hold on. Now pushing and shoving in front of the net. Gianti, McGinn coming over to help out the captain.
Johnson, Nugent Hopkins getting at it. But right off the faceoff, Sabres win the draw, and they're able to move out of their zone. Brian Johnson moving up. All 3 guys touch it. Jamie McGinn just slides the puck through, looking for Jack Eichel to redirection. It was a nice pass, good redirection. Goaltender makes the save, covers it up right there, and then you see Johnson and Nugent Hopkins going at it a little bit.
Something Brian's had to do his entire career, isn't it?
Yep.
He goes right to the net. He's not going to take anything.
And he doesn't take anything from anybody. He pushes back, and he gets his nose in there.
Eichel on the face-off in the Oilers zone. McGinn with a shot. That one is blocked down by Nielsen. Sabres go to work now in behind the net. Eichel's out front. There's McGinn and Gianti do the work down low. Schultz against Gianti. Gianti comes up with it, passes back. Here's a backhand by McGinn. And this time the Oilers goaltender Nielsen doesn't have to stop the Sabres backhand as Nugent Hopkins gets it into the Buffalo zone. Boards turned over. Now McGinn left wing. He'll play it in deep in the Oilers zone. Sabres need a change. Here comes Girgensons and Larson over the board for Buffalo. Oilers lift one to the Buffalo line. Now carried in with a shot by Kara, goes wide of the goal. Rasmus shy of center. Nice pass. Tape to tape. Larson left wing. Snaps his shot. That's the goal. Sabres keep it in off this right wing. Down to the corner, back up top, Ristolainen. He'll go cross ice for George's shot. That deflects off, is sticking out of play, and the faceoff will be in the Edmonton zone. The holiday season is indeed upon us, and we want to celebrate with you. Each day you can receive a new message or offer from the Sabres, Bills, Amerks, Bandits, and more. Visit onebuffalo.com/happy holidays today to get into the holiday spirit. Jake McCabe, there's some holiday spirit here at Rexall Place.
Ugly sweater night.
Ugly sweaters, Christmas sweaters now are the thing.
Are they cool?
Well, we got to get you one on this trip.
That's what a guy like you would say.
Well, we will.
Not like a person like myself.
Sabres play a deep nurse against O'Reilly. Kane comes up with it on the right wing corner. Evander, backhander. Sam Reinhart plays it behind the net. Coming down is McCabe from the left point. In the corner and behind the net. Hall watching him. Over comes Reinhart. Hall goes down. Puck comes to O'Reilly here in the near corner. Shielding that puck facing the point. Over comes, look out, Reinhart takes a nasty hit from Taylor Hall. At least an awkward one, to say the least. Good news is Sam pops right up, puts the helmet back on.
Yeah, he's getting a boarding call here. So the Sabres are going to have a chance back on the power play. Taylor Hall's trying to plead his case, but as you see, he gives Sam a push. Doesn't tie him up. He gives him a push. And by doing that, Sam's probably 3 feet from the boards, and he just goes shoulder head first into the boards. Good thing he's able to get his head turned a little bit here and kind of take the blow in his shoulder area. It's a very dangerous position there for Sam to be in.
So the Sabres go back to work on the power play. 1 for 3 with 5 shots. And that one goal scored on the power play by Ryan O'Reilly. Face off the Edmonton zone. Eichel against the boards on the right wing side. Rasmus Ristolainen will keep it in. Fire a pass off top of the far circle. Turning with it is Gianta. Away from Letestu. Sets up in the left wing corner. Back up top. Ristolainen. Back to Gianta. Top of the circle. Snaps one on. Rebound is here. And it's past the net and now under the goal line for McGinn. Here's Eichel on the right wing corner. Still with it, back to the line, Ristolainen. Back to Eichel, who comes to meet the pass. Into the face-off dot. Shot goes off the skate, right back to Jack, and he'll play it back to Ristolainen. His shot, that one stopped by Nielsen. Not sure he saw all of it, but he got enough. And Edmonton now will clear it down the ice. Ristolainen with 1:13 as the puck in behind the Sabres goal. 14 minutes left in the third. Sabres down a pair, 4-2. This is Bogosian. To the Edmonton line and in with a pass cross ice. Shielding the puck and protecting. Nice job. Pass off. Here's a shot by Reinhart to the front of the net. That's deflected wide. Now up top. Franson and Bogosian back and forth. Shot goes wide to the goal. Franson with a shot. And in front, Reinhart looking for the tip. Just goes wide. Franson again. Top of the circle. Fires. And Nielsen through traffic. That traffic provided by 23 again makes a stop.
Well, earlier in this power play, Rasmus Ristolainen is going to take a shot from the point, and it's going to go off the post. Right here, that ball was butterflying in there. You got McGinn in front. It's not laying flat when he takes the shot, and it just floats in, and it goes right over the glove, the goaltender, Nielsen, off the outside of that right post into the corner.
Left bomb behind his own net, watched by Reinhart. Down to 34 seconds left in Buffalo's power play. To the line and out. Back inside his own zone. Bogosian quickly plays the puck ahead. Reinhart here at the right point inside the Edmonton zone. Plays it down to the corner. Comes to meet it. Up top now Franson. Cross ice. One-timer Bogosian. And Nielsen kicks it to the corner. Near boards clear. Kept in. Franson, nice job. Ryan O'Reilly's in front, but Kane can't get him the puck. Kane shot through his block, but it comes back to Evander at the left wing hash marks. 5 seconds left in the power play. Puck comes into the slot, and it's backhanded out of the air by the Oilers and down the ice. Back to even strength hockey. Ristolainen away from Taylor Hall on the Buffalo end. Sabres changing as Georges comes onto the ice. Bogosian wasn't quite off the ice yet, so Georges didn't touch it. Larson out with Molson and Foligno. Go to work in the Edmonton zone down the left wing corner. Foligno pushed to the ice. Oilers on it. Sekera plays it off the boards to the line and out. Georges after it. Personal all over him down underneath the Buffalo net. Draisaitl knocks it down. Sabres though, Larson comes up with it. Up to center ice. To the Edmonton zone and in. Little drop pass. Here's up top for Foligno's shot. Tipped in front. George has a chance with a rebound. Puck still loose and Purcell picks it up for Edmonton. Foligno is back. Last man back. Purcell makes a move. Georges fights back to get into play. Nugent Hopkins picks up the loose puck and fires it high off the glass. Puck bouncing to the side of the net. Kara plays it back to the line. Another shot doesn't get through. Klefbom will try to keep it in. Girgensons takes that one up off the face and he drops his stick immediately. And Zemgus will get some attention at the Buffalo bench. 4-2 Oilers, 11:44 to go in the third.
Oilers 4-2, 11:44 left in this third period. Zemgus Girgensons is going to take a redeflected puck up into the face area as Klefbom tries to throw this puck into the zone. Goes off the shaft of Girgensons' stick up into his face, and he was cut pretty bad in the mouth area, and he has gone to the Sabres dressing room for repairs.
And that's a group in Girgensons, Larson, and Molson. Started out tonight. You've been commenting all night on the energy. Fueled a lot by Larson, the way he's been playing, and of course Zemgus trying to get back into what he does.
I think the way Zemgus plays with the intensity, it pushes Larson, and it helps him each and every night too.
You see that passion?
Yeah, because he's not going to let him take a shift off.
Oilers win the draw with a shot deflects coming out of play. So we'll face it off again with 11:41 to go in the period.
Well, in this third period, Buffalo out shooting Edmonton 10-2. And in the chance column, Buffalo 5 scoring chances to Edmonton's 1. So they're doing what they need to do, and they're creating the chances. Now they just have to capitalize.
Eichel against Nugent Hopkins in the face-off circle. Here's your future of the National Hockey League, folks. Of course, Nugent Hopkins been a couple of years at it already. Eichel with a goal tonight. Kara with a backhand off the post. Well, the youngster almost had his first in the NHL. Here's Bogosian for Buffalo. Gianta Jess stays onside. No, they're hollering offside, so the Sabres have to get out of the zone. Oilers now to the Buffalo line and in. Nugent Hopkins going to the net, and Eberle can't get him the puck. Now he's stripped, and now Gianta with one man to beat takes the puck in over the line. Right wing drift, going to send it to the side of the net, and Nielsen's going to hold on for a face-off. And Gianta some more pushing and shoving as Gryba now some help coming over for the captain as McGinn again. Legmon down there too for Buffalo.
I like this. They still got fight in their game. And they're sticking up for each other. We like seeing that right here. Edmonton has a great opportunity. This puck's going to come across. It goes right off the right heel of Zach Bogosian's skate. And then pops back out in front of the net. Sabres able to gain control, move down the ice. And here's what started. Gryba's got a hold of Gianta's stick. Jamie McGinn comes in to help bail his teammate out a little bit.
Ryan O'Reilly to take the faceoff in the Edmonton zone. O'Reilly wins it. Kane with a quick shot, and that one wide. McKay behind the net for Reinhart. Can't knock it down. Taylor Hall trying to clear it. Kept in by Franson. Bouncing puck. Reinhart with it now. Here in the right wing corner up top to Franson. His shot misses the net. McCabe comes down. Sends it in front for Reinhart. Oilers break it up. Taylor Hall part of a two-man rush for Edmonton to the Buffalo line and in. Sabres break it up a couple feet inside the zone. And O'Reilly turns it over. Taylor Hall for Purcell with a shot. And he fired that one wide. Puck pops up to Reinhart. Makes one move to get outside the zone. Gets the puck to center. It's turned over again. Taylor Hall makes his way down the right side. Tried to play it back for Purcell, but it comes all the way back to Klefbom at center. And the Oilers have to get onside, and then Schultz's shot before the team could tag up onside. Get your hat trick packs now. Just $99. You can purchase 2 300-level tickets and a new era Sabres hat. The package is available for select silver and gold games throughout the season. Purchase yours today at Sabres.com. Eichel and O'Reilly for Buffalo. The Oilers, Purcell, Eberle, Hall, and Gazdic with his first goal since about March of last year. And the Oilers in front by a pair. Here's Molson down the right wing along with Legwand. They get to the Edmonton line and have to Regroup again as Klefbom goes cross ice with his D partner. Testu tips it at center. Oilers get it into the Buffalo zone. Now the Sabres up to center. Foligno, he's stripped of the puck. Shot glove down by Johnson. Edmonton changing, so he can keep play moving. Molson facing his own net, but the puck is tipped back inside the Buffalo zone and offside. It's goal. Oilers with a 4-2 lead, still 9:33 to go in the third period at Rexall. Urban Collision, the official collision repair centers of the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, the bad thing for Johan Larsson, he's shown the last couple of games how he can play. Now Dan Balsman knows it, and expectations are going to go up for this kid as well.
Face off just outside the Buffalo line. Eichel will take the draw. Nugent Hopkins again, his opposition. Eichel wins it cleanly. Sabres now with Ristolainen. Playing it ahead, Molson for Eichel. Right wing, leaning his way down to the corner. Played into the face-off dot. Molson can't shoot it. And back come the Oilers. Lander trying to tip it down, deep into the Buffalo zone. Molson comes back, breaks it up. 2-on-2, Eichel down this right side. Can't make his way around the Oilers' defense. And it's off the boards, but not out. Ristolainen keeps it in, shoots one on net. Nielsen's thinking about it, but he's going to keep it in play. Greiba then pops it right out in front of the net, but Nugent Hopkins is there. And he'll bring it up for the Oilers to center. Davidson just chip it deep into the Buffalo zone. Eichel back after it. Purcell watching him. Down to center. Evander Kane over the line. Reinhart with him. Left wing. Down the corner. Nurse watching him. Kane goes down. Reinhart. And Kane against the boards again. Reinhart under the goal line. Against Sekera. Down comes Kane with a big hit as he runs over Sekera. Oilers though with a puck lifted into the Buffalo zone. Purcell with Hall trailing on the play going to the front of the net. Draisaitl as well. And Edmonton going offside here. Then Kane with another lick after the whistle on Sekera.
Now Evander Kane being Evander Kane.
Hall
comes in too, eh?
Tap on the head.
Much down in the corner. Evander Kane just running over Sekera. That's what you call him now.
Sekera, that's what he wants to be called.
Yeah, well. I guess guys change their names sometimes when they want to hide. Or a fresh start.
Right now, Evander Kane's being restrained by the referee because Taylor Hall, watch this, gives him a swat here.
Evander, here comes Taylor Hall. Oh, just with the left. Pretending nothing happened, but Evander Kane is not a guy that's going to let something like that go.
Now this is unfortunate for the game because they're both off the ice for a couple of minutes. With 8:15 to go in the third period. This whole building would love to see him left out there and just play. I'm not criticizing the call, but I'm saying unfortunate for people here.
No, but I can understand the call. There's still 8 minutes left in this game. The referee doesn't want things to get out of hand. If you're going to start taking shots like that, you can slow it down and settle it down a little bit. Two players such as Kane and Hall, you know, you can send a message to them. They're going to understand that they're not going to go out there and risk because little guys are going to need to be on the ice.
Oilers Klefbom back in his own end off the draw. Hendricks way up ice as we play 4-on-4. Right now shoved to the ice by Bogosian. And the Sabres in their own end. Bouncing puck. Up down. Poliaco trying to settle it down. Now he has it. They'll play it behind the Buffalo goal. 7:48 left here in the third period. Sabres still down a pair, trailing 4-2. Bogosian takes the drop pass. Ristolainen. Back for Bogosian across the Edmonton line. Puck played to the near corner. Leg one. After it, comes free to Hendricks. Gianta first into the forecheck right in front of the Edmonton net. Oilers flushed out here on the left wing. Now Nugent Hopkins down the right side. Klefbom trailing, along with Sekera, who takes the pass. Eichel defending him. Sekera turning. Eichel stays with him. Far point. Nurse jumps into the play off the bench. Nurse takes the pass. Backhand on net. Johnson the save, and he's going to hold on.
Now Edmonton entering zone, just having good possession of the puck. And they got their feet moving the whole time right there. Nurse is able to step in, get a good opportunity on the backhand. So Chad Johnson right there just cutting that short side off. Really no place for him to go. And I think Sabres got to start being a little more aggressive here. 7:04 left. They're going to start attacking a little bit more. They got to be a little more aggressive on the puck carrier. And not just be content with containing the puck carrier. They got to go and get the puck from them.
Off the draw, Eichel will skate it right wing to center. He's got a man going down the middle of the ice. And that was Ristolainen. Pass ahead of him, Darnell Nurse. Plays it under the goal line. Sekera, he's pressured right away. Eichel runs into a... Did he hit an elbow or just take a hit? But Eichel pops up. He's well behind the play as the Oilers come up the ice. He's going to go to the bench. Foligno's going to come on in his place. Sekera plays the pass cross ice. He wants it back again near side. It's down to the corner for Lander. Georges into the boards in behind the Sabres goal. Over comes Ristolainen to help out. And Foligno passes it off. And now it's Ryan O'Reilly. Slowly making his way. Now dodging down the right side. Foligno with him. O'Reilly had to take it away, and Draisaitl turns. Pass up the middle intercepted. Oilers still with it though. Pass offside as the Oilers try to gain the Buffalo line.
Jack Eichel will show you what happened down in the corner. He's going to take an elbow, right there by Sekera in the corner. And down he goes. Referee standing right there too. I don't know how they missed it. It was a perfect elbow right up into the face of Eichel, and no call made.
His Noggin's taking a few shots tonight.
Well, join the club, buddy.
Yeah. Oilers shoot it in. You only hope to be half as good looking when it's all done for his career. Sabres trying to work their way out of the zone now. With under 6 minutes to go in this third period. Foligno trying to block the shot from the point, and that one goes just wide. In behind the net, Draisaitl. Into the circle, plays it to the goal line and under, and then Hall has it stripped away. Evander Kane just makes it to the blue line, not out. Branson will send it back. McCabe for Kane, left wing. Nice little move, frees up the play down to the corner. Larson turns with it. Kane behind the net. Boxed out down low, and the Oilers. Kara plays it off the boards. And down into the Buffalo zone. Edmonton going to work here, playing with a 2-goal lead in this third period. Sabres trying to fight their way through it. This is Eichel. In over the Edmonton line, shot blocked. He got down to the right wing circle. Now the far side, Bogosian. Gianta comes to meet the pass. McGinn. Eichel with it now. Still on the left wing boards. Pass back to the point, and unable to keep it in is Bogosian. We'll start the play though with a shoot in by Eichel. Behind the net. Nielsen out to play it. Georges comes down to keep it in here on the near side. Eichel turns, and that puck goes up and out of play. And a timeout on the ice. Sabres trying to find a way here. Still down 4-2. 4:29 to go in the third. Dave, and we look closely at the just slightest of poke checks made there by Johnson. The cut in by Eberle. And that is our Toyota big save. Toyota, let's go places. 26 saves tonight. He's actually faced 26 shots tonight. Oilers with a 4-2 lead.
Yeah, he's been by himself quite a bit tonight too. Early in this hockey game, did not get a lot of help from his hockey team.
Sabres shoot it into the Edmonton zone, in behind the net. Reinhart after it. O'Reilly plays it back to the line, but that's intercepted. Draisaitl will tip it deep into the Buffalo zone. Georges back after it. Also watching him. O'Reilly from Reinhart. Here come the Sabres to center. Reinhart. Pass back to the line. That one misses Ristolainen. And now Kane has to come back and help out. As Jake McCabe was the last man back. Kane turns away from the forecheck of Letestu. For McCabe, and now Franson who comes onto the ice. 3:42 to go and down by 2. You know the Sabres needing the 2 goals pretty much for the whole past half of this period have to open it up. And And we're so cautious of that with this young Edmonton team. We talked about their speed coming into the game. Delorier with it in his own end. Pass left wing. It'll be chipped into the Edmonton zone down to the near corner. Leg one after it. Sabres off to Vancouver after this game. Play the Canucks tomorrow night. Foligno in the Edmonton zone trying to keep possession. Eberle can't get to the puck. Leg one for Delorier. He's in behind the net trying to center for Marcus Foligno. Couldn't get it to him. And the puck pops free, and the Oilers now will carry it to their line and up to center ice. This is Nugent Hopkins. Leads a rush of 3 and over the line. Pass off to Eberle with a shot, and he rips that off the glass. Gianta watching Eberle, who plays it back. Now Davidson up the line, holds the shot. Oilers with one man in the slot in front of the net. Shot from the far point, well wide of the net. And the Sabres trying to wheel out of their own end. Gianta chips the puck to the left wing side, but Bogosian Gulls at it, plays it in behind the Edmonton net. Down comes Molson. Back with the puck, he's going to turn it around to this other corner. Ristolainen in front for Gianta. And the puck goes all the way to the right wing boards, and the Oilers come back. Here's Draisaitl on the counter, drop for Hall. Hall lays it off, back to Draisaitl, and a pass saved by Johnson. What a stop by Chad as he got over, and the Oilers, there's that counter they're just talking about. Draisaitl in the Sabre zone, still with it for Hall. Walks down to the slot, takes a shot. Johnson the save of the rebound. Picked up by Buffalo. Eichel can't get to the center ice red line before he's stripped to the puck. And this is pretty clinical here by Edmonton, protecting the 2-goal lead.
Sabres are not able to exit their zone just because of the pressure down low. Edmonton is only going with 2 guys down deep, but they're just causing havoc. And every time the Sabres are looking to move the puck, it's intercepted or deflected.
Here's O'Reilly with a shot and the glove save, and traffic going to the net.
Now Edmonton late in this game, up 2. They're going to have a beautiful opportunity. When they gain control of this puck, move down the ice. Great puck movement by all the forwards on the ice. Tic-tac-toe, stop. Chad Johnson comes across, and he makes a big save to keep this game 4-2. And he is out of the net now, standing with Dan Bylsma on the bench. Terry Murray has 1:29 left.
O'Reilly to take the draw. Pop a quick one here, and he got some time. Played back to the line. Bogosian off the boards. Eichel plays it down in front. Reinhart gets a whack at it. Puck's at the post. They jam away at it before the whistle.
Well, it's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Ryan O'Reilly and Jack Eichel came into this game tied with 8 goals for the team lead. In the first period, Jack Eichel got his 9th. And in the second, Ryan O'Reilly scored his 9th. And at this point, still tied for the scoring lead.
Eichel plays it back to the line. Net empty for Buffalo. 1:14 to go, down by 2. Working in the Edmonton zone. Eichel with his head up at the far circle. Boy, you want him shooting the puck, don't you? Here's Eichel now, top of the circle. Pass down low. Reinhart's in front. There's the puck to the front of the net, but Nielsen covers up. And Edmonton doing a good job of boxing Reinhart out as well.
And key word there is shooting. They got to shoot the puck a little more here. You got 1:02 left. You got great control. Fantastic. Shoot the puck. You got a guy in front. You got Sam Reinhart standing in front. Look for the pass down low. Shoot the puck. Look for a redirection. You got traffic in front. Everybody converges. The more you wait, the more you pass. You're wasting too much time.
Another big face-off win. Kane shot tipped in front by Reinhart. Nielsen covers up.
That's a perfect play right there.
Yes, I mean, perfect play. And Nielsen's been standing on his head very quietly here as the Sabres continue now with 34 shots.
Yeah, he's done a nice job, but Evander Kane, he kind of whiffs on this puck, but he gets it through. Sam Reinhart does a good job just getting his stick on it, redirecting it. But this is what I'm talking about. You got to make sure you get the puck through to the net as much as possible. And here with 56 seconds left, remember, Dan Bylsma lost his timeout when he lost his challenge.
Another clean draw win by O'Reilly, but he's not happy they're going to do this again. To the left of Anders Nielsen. Riley leans in. This time the Oilers win the draw from a corner. It's cleared down the ice. It'll be wide of the empty net, a bouncing puck. And Bogosian just gets there in time for the icing call, winning the race.
Now, obviously the key here is you got to win the draw. You got to get it set up. But you're not playing for one goal here. You're playing for two. So you can't afford to waste any seconds. You've got to get the puck to the net and have everybody else there to look for if there's any type of a rebound or second opportunity. The longer you hang on to the puck waiting for something to open up, you're just killing yourself.
Off the draw, Sabres with it. Kane turns, takes the shot. That one steered away, and now Bogosian with the backhand. Plays it in behind the net, Chianza. Kane again from this near corner. Sends it across the face of the goal. Crowley's here. Nobody can get it for Buffalo. It's cleared down the ice. And no icing. Linesman waves it off. Eichel behind his own net with 30 seconds. Sabres need two, as Rob mentioned. Eichel still with the puck. Pass up the left wing side for Evander Kane. Trying to make his way around Kreiba. Can't. And it's cleared. And now with an empty net, a race for the puck. Eichel's going to win that race. Cut right in front of his own net and play it up ahead to O'Reilly, who can't advance the puck. 7 seconds to go. Sabres get it in over the Edmonton line. Now it's sent down the ice. No icing. It's tipped. And that will seal this one. 4-2 the final Oilers.
Yeah, I think early in this hockey game, Edmonton's speed really caught the Buffalo Sabres off guard. They had a tough time adjusting to it. And a lot of missed coverages in the defensive zone, especially by the D. And the lack of communication in some cases really cost the Sabres. And what it did, it gave a young Edmonton Oilers team momentum. And it was something they just never relinquished all night long. They just were able to keep the pressure on Sabres all night long. And they were just kind of on their heels. They never could establish that forecheck or that zone presence for any period of time.
So the Sabres winning run ends, and for the Oilers, now they win 3 straight at home in this 5-game stand. Buffalo off to Vancouver, and we'll have that action for you tomorrow night. For details on this one and more, over to Brad and Brian with the Lexus postgame report.